role in the scoping, which is the activity that we need to do to update the sites that were previously assessed. It's important to also note that the UNEP report, which was submitted in 2011, will need to be validated, and that is what one of the activities that has been scheduled for us to carry out in the new year. We will also need to commence, or we've already commenced the procurement process for getting the health impact study done, for getting the water activities, provision of water done, as well as to get the right companies that will do the scoping, and after which we will then go on to do the remediation. Remediation is a process. It's not an isolated activity. And oftentimes when people tell us that nothing is happening, I believe it's also because we need to make people understand what remediation is. Remediation does start with initial assessment of an impacted site. And so, like what happened when UNEP came to Nigeria, they came to answer one question. The question was, is Ogoni land polluted? That was the question that UNEP came to, and the answer was, yes, it's polluted. The next question will be, how polluted? To what extent are these places polluted? And that is the next thing we're about to do now. That will help us know the nature of contamination, the extent of contamination, and the best ways to do that. That process, which is called characterization, is the next thing we are doing. And after that, then we will then do the remediation. And no two sites are the same. So for every site that we want to remediate, we will have to take that site, characterize it, isolate and delineate the contaminants in that place so that we can come up with the best possible remediation options. It is true that the project, it's true that the project office only started in April this year. But between April this year and December this year, where we're talking, like I said, we have done sensitization, we have done demonstration projects, we have done training. We have the Honorable Minister of State for Environment very recently signed the MOU with UNITA to enable UNITA carry out training, manpower development, skill development training for our people, for the women, for the men, for the youths, and for all shades of people who will need some livelihood training. So that has been done. We've also been talking to the United Nations system. I explained that we've been working with UNEP, and we're also talking with the UNOPS. UNOPS is the project management arm of the United Nations, and they have been into our office twice, about 3 times now actually, to help us do the framing. This is something we are also actively doing with Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria in terms of technical capacity. So the project management needs of the project is also going to be met in an advisory role by UNOPS. At this point, I'm also pleased to announce to you that the Honorable Minister of State for Environment successfully got the approval of the Federal Executive Council for the sourcing of project management consultants, monitoring and evaluation consultants, as well as communication consultants for the project. This team of consultants will be arriving any moment from now to give the needed expertise and guidance to the project. In addition, the Foster, which is an arm of the British government in Nigeria, have been able to also to support us with 5 more consultants. So we are building a huge capacity to deploy in the new year, both in terms of the technical part of it, project management part of it, and as well as communications. I will, at this point, like to thank you all, and believing that in the next couple of days, our community outreach, our medical outreach program, which is slated, again, more of those sort of activities slated for 30th, which is tomorrow in Gokana local government. We're inviting the Gokana people, every other person in Ogoni, to come to Terrabo General Hospital for more of the medical support given by Hyprep. We will be in Eleme at Ogoni General Hospital on the 2nd of January. There will also be follow-up services provided by the team of doctors on the 3rd of January at Eleme. And this is actually the commencement, the beginning of the implementation of the health impact part of the project. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming over.
Thank you, the project coordinator of Hyprep, Dr. Marvin Dekil, a speech that encompasses all the activities that Hyprep has done right from April this year up until now, and with slides to buttress everything that he has said. Once again, another round of applause for him. Any moment from now, we will be going into the business session, the interaction. Remember that this forum is a roundtable meeting, which means that we are going to go into very frank talks on how the Ogoni cleanup projects will succeed. But before then, let me invite to the podium the president of the movement of the survival of the Ogoni people, Mr. Lebosi Piagwara, for a comment.
The Honorable Minister of State for Environment, here represented by Dr. Ishaku, the project coordinator of Hyprep, Dr. Marvin Dekil, Dr. Peter Mede, the president of Kagote, also a member of the BOT, other protocols duly observed. I sincerely want to thank Hyprep for organizing this roundtable and for also letting all of us to bear our minds on the state of implementation of UNEP report. As one of those who have been involved in this whole process right from the time of the assessment, I think first of all we must commend the President for showing or demonstrating the political will to get this project off the ground. I can't tell because I've walked through this process, as I said, from the assessment to this moment, and I can say there has been some dramatic change in terms of giving attention to this project. But at the same time, as a community, we're still, of course, far from getting to where we expect to be the destination for this project. Of the project coordinator, I've mentioned a series of things that have been done. It's unfortunate we spent quite a lot of time getting the governance framework and structures in place. That has been done. But I think what our people really look up to is a situation where the boots are on the ground, where water is provided, looking are the fact that, particularly in the case of water, you are dealing